up? How are ya? Dominic, Peyton, hey Jamie. What's up, guys? How many of you guys watched the trial today? I didn't get to watch all of it. I watched Buster and I watched most of that other guy, the engineer guy. So I have to watch his cross and the rest of his. So we could talk about that a little bit, but I do want to talk about I've been looking into the everything. Like I've been just like going back for like all the Murdaugh stuff, right? So I want to talk about Stephen Smith, not today. I haven't got that part done yet. But um I want to talk about the boat crash today. Um so when I was looking through some stuff, I did a like a freedom of information request this week, so hopefully I'll get it because I want to get all the files from that because I'm limited in what I have. I just found what I could find throughout like other people that got them or whatever. But I want to get like the complete files to really be able to tell everything. So when that happens, I'll probably do part two when I get them. Hopefully, I'll get them by next week. I'm sure they usually don't take that long to do like requests. But anyway, so I'm like looking around, just trying to find information on everything. And so I was compiling all the boat crash information, Stephen Smith information, the murders information, the housekeeper deaths information, and I came to something with Paul's that got me kind of like, wait, what? Was he driving? Now, I do think there's a good chance he was driving, but there's some stuff that the media didn't really cover very much. There's this guy named Eric Allen, which he's the one that first brought it to my attention. You guys should check out him. He has a YouTube channel, and he's done a series on the Murdaughs, and he's the one that brought it to my attention on like the original like statement of was it Morgan, her original statement, and to really pay attention to what Anthony said and just different things like that, where it was like it makes you question, where it really is kind of confusing on who was driving. Now, I know some of you guys are gonna be like, "You're crazy, Tiffany. It was obviously Paul," and I do think there's a chance it was. But after I show you what I found, and there's probably more because I'm waiting for the files, the request, the information where I could get the full statements, everything. I was only able to get like what I was able to like screenshot what others had or what others showed. But just wait till you see at least even a little amount so far, and I feel like it's enough to make you doubt it. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? So you guys already know then. Oh, you knew, Tasha? Why didn't you tell me? So what do you think? I have like the screenshots of like the statements, but I ordered them. So I want the full, I want to be able to see like all the files together. So I can't wait till I get them myself. Because, when I searched, I was only able to find little pieces of like statements and drawings and stuff. I wasn't able to find like, I just want everything. So I can't wait to get till I get everything. Um, yeah, I forgot I have to watch that. That CNN put out that, right? Tasha, is that out yet on CNN? I still have to watch that. So, okay, so let me just play this video. Like I just kind of like edited some pieces about the oh my god, I can't even talk. Let me say hi to a couple of you and then wait, Zav, did you look at the no, did it come out? You said it was no, that wasn't you, that was Tasha. So I heard it is coming out on CNN, right? What does it say? I haven't got to see it yet. I was waiting for it to come out. Well, oh, it aired on CNN last weekend. Hey, Morningstar. So what I did is I just put together like I edited together like different news clips, different pieces from that Murdaugh podcast. That's another source that I got from Eric Allen, and then some news stations. So let me just play this little video. Oh, and then I did this Google Earth where I just like did a timeline of that night on Google Earth. So let me just play this real quick, and then I'm gonna probably stop it throughout there, and then we'll chat. Um, well, Tasha, so you know what I'm talking about then. So do you think are you doubting that Paul drove then? Because you never said anything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think probably he was, but I don't know. There's enough doubt. And the doubt is now that when I show you the stuff, those of you that didn't see that video, the doubt's not coming from like um the way it's been portrayed in the media, that it's Alec that's making the doubt because he's like he talked to all of them and got him to like confuse. No, like it came before that. Like the doubt came from like the initial stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like Morgan initially said that Connor was driving the boat and then changed her statement. She said after so supposedly she got to talk to oh my god, what is the other, hold on. They're all M's. Miley, sorry. So she after she talked to Miley, and then she changed her statement the next day and said, "Oh no, it was I can't talk right now. It was Paul that was driving." But originally she said Connor. And Anthony, if you listen, he doesn't say for sure that it was Paul. And then there's some people like, "Oh, the cop that in his report that was talking to Anthony said it's not clear who was driving, and they thought he was like corrupt and he was just going along because of, Alec. And no, like if I was taking the notes down of what Anthony was saying, I would say it's not clear either because Anthony says he did not see when the boat crashed. He took Mallory down on his lap and he did not see, but it was known that Paul and Connor were switching on and off driving the boat. He said when he went down, Paul was driving, but he took Mallory down on the bottom before they even wrecked. It was just when they were speeding up, he took her down. He couldn't see who was driving. So he says, I don't know. He said Paul was driving before, but I don't know. Like, so it's not clear. And the fact is they're actually putting words into the mouth the opposite way. So we were made to believe through the media that it was like, I don't know how to word it, but I feel like it was the opposite. All right. And I'm not trying to stick up for Paul because I think he is responsible. I mean, it was his boat. He shouldn't have, I mean, he should have gotten punished in some way. And then Connor just says he doesn't remember anything. It's just so weird. Okay, let me play parts of this and I'll chat with you. So this is just a quick little, well, not quick, but I edited this little video together so I could use it as we're chatting. Okay, so here's the three. Why is this not playing? Okay, so so this one talking now is my edited. So I did this timeline with Google Earth here. Little timeline of what Paul did that day of the boat crash, what him and his friends did. So at 5:30 p.m. that day, he goes to Parker's 55, a gas station, and gets beer. I think it's a newer gas station because when I typed it in, it brought this little empty lot. So I'm guessing it just wasn't there yet when the Google Earth last took a picture. So, because when I typed in the Parker's 55 and Buford, this is where it took me. And it even had a. Just wait, WD-40. He does. I mean, Connor does drive it a couple of the times for sure. I mean, that's known because they were switching on and off. Like Paul was arguing with his girlfriend, Connor would take over. They were both in the captain's chair. Like there's two seats. So remember the wheel is on the left side of the boat. So when you see the diagrams, and they were switching. So yeah, there is a comment, and I have that where he says, I'm not gonna I think he just didn't want Anthony to drive. But here and Anthony and Connor are cousins too. But yeah, I have that quote from that Eric Allen. I tried to contact him to make sure it was okay. If I used parts of his video, he hasn't responded yet. So I use more like screenshots because I didn't want to use too much without him responding. But I had to use some because he was the only other person that was like showing everything. All the other videos, they weren't showing everything. So I can't wait till I get my files. Picture of it, and it looked just like the place that he went. So that's at 5:30. after this, I'm like talking and I'm on mute. I was saying here he is using Buster's fake ID, and watch he does a little like when he gets out, he does a little like celebration. He got it. Um, but no, after this, we'll talk a little bit about the trial. But I didn't get to watch it all. That's why I'm not prepared to talk about it all. But I did watch some of it. I do want to talk about some of the stuff that one guy said that I think is bull crap. Okay, so there's Paul, or yeah. I just got a couple clips. I like this clip because it had the actual audio. This guy's just like looking. Look. Okay, so this is at what, like 5:30 around? It's the beer. Surround sound. Oh my god. 6:30, 6 p.m. This is where they meet. They all meet to head over to the oyster roast. I've never been to oyster roast. Have you guys? I would like to, though. I like oysters. Okay, so then... So at 8 p.m., the party arrives to the oyster roast. And then at 12:11 is when they leave. Paul and his friends leave the oyster roast. So at 12:35 a.m. is where they almost hit that bridge, the Buford Bridge. So they almost hit the bridge. And then they think it's a good idea to stop here at Buford at 12:50 is when around 12:50, they arrive, dock their boat, because Paul and Connor want to go have some shots. So after they already almost run into this bridge, they think it's a good idea for Paul and Connor to have more drinks, even though Paul is already pretty drunk from what they said. I'm not denying, Amanda. He was acting like a jerk that day. They say he has like this alter ego when he drinks, where he turns into this different person. I think they say they call him Timmy, the alter ego, where he just turns into this different person. And things I heard about him, he's awful when he's drunk. I mean, he was being a jerk that night. I'm not trying to stick up for that. He was a jerk. Supposedly he spit on his girlfriend's face. He pushed her. He I think the laughing, I don't think, but to be honest, I don't think he's laughing because, oh, Mallory's lost. I think he's laughing because he's drunk. He probably doesn't even know what's going on. And he's just being, I don't know, just being an idiot. But yeah, he's a jerk. I mean, he was being a jerk. And supposedly at the hospital, the nurse said he was like horrible. Like, I think he tried to like grab her butt or something. I didn't get that written down in my notes, but I saw it in a video. I don't know if it was the Eric Allen video, like some of the like stuff he said to her when he was drunk, but he was really drunk. So maybe he does turn into like one of those just, I mean, it's not an excuse, but just turn into somebody that he normally, he doesn't normally act that way. I'm just saying though, like what I found out, it does give you a little bit of confusion on who was actually driving when it hit a dock. But I think he still should have gotten punished. You know what I'm saying? Charged. But if Connor was indeed driving, then Connor should have gotten charged too with something. Maybe not. Maybe Paul probably should have got the harshest regardless, because I mean it's his boat. I don't know how that works out, but I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it does bring up some confusion who was driving. So I can't wait till I get all the files so I could see if there's anything else that is in there that shows anything. I don't know. Yeah, you could watch at one point, Paul, you could tell I'll point it out. You could tell he's like arguing with his girlfriend, and then he I think he grabs the flashlight from her. It looks like that's what he's doing or something. And and he throws up his arms like that. So he probably was a freaking jerk, at least when he's drinking. Sorry, there's no sound. I don't have any sound here. I mean, if I release this as a pre-recorded, I'll probably put some music or something, but I just figured with this live, I could just talk to you guys well. Oh, no, this is Wind Watch. So Connor's going to start walking, and then I'm probably heading to the bar, and then Paul starts running, catching up. They did give him one WD-40. He blew a .24, but it wasn't, the cops didn't um, request one. They only gave him one because this he how he was acting, the nurse wanted to make sure everything was okay with him, I guess they said. But it wasn't because like the cops. So the cops want to ask Connor to take one for the investigation and Connor denied. They didn't ask Paul to, but the nurse gave him one just because she was worried about him, the hospital, and he blew a .24. And I think by the time they gave it to him, wasn't it like 4 or 5 in the morning? So it was like hours after he had already been drinking. And so yeah, he did get one WD-40. Oh, you're talking about sobriety. Okay, I'm just talking about a breathalyzer or like a blood. I think they did a blood test actually. So then they go to Luther's to have some shots. Well, Paul and Connor go to Luther's to have some shots. Wait, how long have I been muted? There I go again. No, not all drunks are mean at all. Yeah, there's some really nice ones. There's funny ones. I mean, yeah, but some are. That's the ones you don't want to be with. Um, yeah, there's definitely happy drunks. No, I think that he was a spoiled, entitled brat, but that as far as what happened for him to be blamed for driving a boat and there is some confusion, that's what we're talking about, just the facts of it. But yeah, I mean, he was a jerk. He was probably the reason it happened. I mean, even if he wasn't driving, if they would have just like took Anthony's advice and maybe got like an Uber or something. But it's just I just wanted to point out, we'll get to those parts where it's not quite as what the media for some reason didn't say these facts. Like I don't get it. They just like turned it around on like, oh, Alec is switching the narrative when it was actually the confusion was because of what the kids said at first. That's why I think. And I know there was the one cop, I think there was 2 cops that were there at the scene that Murdaugh's firm represented and like won a bunch of money. I mean, I know that there's some of that stuff going on, but I do feel like the confusion was because of the kids. I mean, there were 2 of them weren't even sure who was driving. If you go by their first things. No, there's corruption, but I don't know if there's corruption in the boat crash. That's what I'm trying to say. As far as like, I don't think Alec had anything to do with anything because in the end it was Paul the one that was being charged. So obviously, he did nothing. I mean, it wasn't like and then everybody, all the civil cases where they all got sued. So no, I don't, I don't think. I mean, Paul was the one that got the charges, or the one that was in the middle of the key. So I don't think that the corruptness had anything to do with this, or it didn't help with this case. I don't think. Not with this one, Dom. I'll have to disagree. I know there's a lot of channels that are saying that, but I don't know. I don't see it. He was trying to help all the kids for this one, I feel like. Because I do believe that he thought, because Paul said Connor was driving, I do believe Alec probably believed his son and thought Connor was driving. And so he was trying to like tell them to all shut up and he was going to help them all. Like, don't talk, because he didn't want he wanted to try to get them all off. He didn't want any of them to get in trouble. That's how I think this. And I'm not saying Alec is a good guy. Oh boy, he just done some bad things. But with this one, I'm seeing it a different way. Now I'm gonna have so much hate for this. Yeah, I have some of those clips, and Mag. I have some of the clips at the end of this where it has some of the court. I'm trying to find the whole, but I guess they were just like little court hearings, like little quick hearings or whatever. So I found like a bunch of little clips, news clips. But I was just gonna say I wish I could find like the whole hearing, but I think they're all just like short ones. That's good that you're not. So you weren't, mean drunk, Tori? That's good. I'm not see, I think you're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that I said I think Paul should have got punished. But what I'm saying is I don't think the corruption got into this case where the corruption made anything happen. I don't think there was. Actually, Paul was the one getting charged. The other ones got sued. So he didn't have any power in this. It didn't work if he tried. I think he was just trying to help them though, like the kids, but it didn't work, because they didn't want to listen to him or whatever. Um, but yeah, no, I agree. They definitely should be held responsible, you know? As far as I think Paul should have been punished but I'm just saying like I'm not 100% sure. Like I'm confused about who was driving. I can't say now seeing what I saw like that I'm 100% that it was Paul when they actually hit the bridge. That's all I'm saying. And the Alec didn't really make a difference in anything, as you could see. I mean, Paul was the one getting charged and stuff, and they all got sued. And so obviously, the corruption. If he even tried to do anything, it didn't work. But I think he was just trying to help them, all of them, but they didn't take the help, and then it looked bad on him. Even though I mean, Alec has done a lot of shady stuff. Don't get me wrong. I don't know, I was debating whether I should keep this in here this long, but they're at the bar right now. So the reason these 2 are the only ones in there, they're the only ones that have fake IDs. So they're getting some shots. Now remember, this is after they almost just hit a bridge, right? So Paul almost hits that bridge in Buford, that Buford Bridge, like right next to where they dock, like right before they docked. He almost hits it, they say. And then he thinks it's a good idea to go have more shots. Like, are you kidding me? So they go and have some more shots while the others are, I don't know, just standing there out probably by the dock waiting for him. Um, Now, supposedly, Connor said, and that's why, God, I can't wait to get the statements because it's just all hearsay. I mean, I guess it's not hearsay. It's probably in the statement, but I don't have the full statements. But supposedly, Connor says that, or maybe he didn't even put it in his statement, but somebody, I don't know if this was Eric that said this or if this was the murder pot, the Murdaugh podcast, but they said that Connor said that Paul like got in a fight with somebody at the bar and like was like throwing over chairs, which you don't see in this. So I don't know. Is Connor lying about that? You know what we should do after this? I'm writing this down. Try to get some go on Google Maps and go into this bar or get pictures inside the bar and see how it's set up. Because I was under the impression that if you go to the like bottom right corner, like they walk around and then like, well, I'd say the right side of this video to the back. Like I thought I thought the exit was just right back there. So they just go around the bar and then they go out, which we could see them for the most part. And then I thought the door was right there, which wouldn't leave that much room to get in a fight or anything. Until like, I mean, I know it was an actual fight, but he was arguing with somebody, and they said, "This is Connor saying Paul threw some chairs," and you don't really see it in the video. So like, I'm gonna see that. Let's try to look at the setup after this. Okay, Luther's. I think it's called Luther's Well Done or something. I'm gonna inside. So yeah, and the reason it is kind of important because let's see if Connor's memory is okay, and if is he a liar or does he tell the truth? Like, is he making up stories or did this really happen? Or is he trying to make Paul look worse for some reason? I have no idea. It's just you don't see it, and it's weird to think that did it just happen over here in this corner right before he walked out? And what chairs would he be throwing? I mean, I guess there's chairs right here in the corner. Hey Tori, let me say hi to some people. Soul, what's up? Where are you at? I see somebody saying hi to you. Hey Stacy. Judge was literally telling the defense that not to lead the witness today. That is not his job. That is a prosecutor's job. Wait, judge was literally telling the defense counselor not to lead the witness today. Oh, yeah, that's true. Amanda, that's true. That just shows you how sucky the like, they ever objected? Do they ever object? Like, they need to okay, wait, here, they're leaving now, okay? So I can't tell if these 2, are having nice words or not, but now they're walking out, and it's obviously you don't see them walk up this way, so obviously they're walking out somewhere to the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I even paused it to see because you see a couple people walking up the side of the bar. I even paused it, and it's not them. So there were I think the door's just right there. So I don't know if that really ever happened or not, but I guess Connor said that. Okay. So what's next here? I just try to like do them in order here of how their night went, just so you could see it. And then, oh, yeah. And then they're like, there's the door and they're leaving. It doesn't look like he's arguing with anybody as he's walking out, you know? Just very interesting that Connor said that. Okay. So now well, okay. Here is where it looks like, so here's Paul. Man, the way that I'm sharing this, you can't see my cursor, but you guys know which one Paul is. Obviously, he's got this stripe. I think it's like a green and maybe like maybe like a hunter forest green shirt with like a orange stripe or something. That's kind of how I keep seeing it, but I don't know. But anyway, so and he does have like a shirt hanging out underneath it, maybe like a flannel underneath. I think, well, Jamie, I think Alec is definitely involved. I don't know if I think he's that he pulled the trigger or if he did, if he was the only shooter. I don't know, but I do think he's definitely involved. Whether he hired somebody, whether there was 2 of them and he was one of them, or he was the only one. He's definitely behind it. I do think that. But that's what I don't know as far as the jury. Like, should they say guilty if they're doubting if he was the only shooter or the shooter? I mean, should they still say guilty? Okay, look, she's shining a flashlight in his face and he grabs it. He grabs it from her because now he has it. And you could tell they're arguing. He throws his hands in the air, stumbling all over. Hi, Daleen. Hey, baby Voss 66. Now it looks like a yellow stripe. No, I think it's orange though. Yeah, if anything, at the least he hires somebody. I agree, Amanda. So I think there's 3 options. Either he's the only shooter, he's one of the shooters, and there's another person, or he hired somebody and maybe hired a couple people. Because if he hired it out, then it probably is 2 people, because why would a hired person try to make it look like 2 people? So I feel like if he did just hire it, then he probably hired 2 people. But I almost think he could be one of them, and then or he could have just so today, what that guy, the engineer, that the defense witness freaking said, well, hold on. There's gonna be audio here in a minute. Okay, so now they're leaving the boat dock heading. Well, oh, I guess I added this in here again. Okay, so let's talk. So the guy said that for Maggie, one of Maggie's shots, that the guy had to be between 5'2" and 5'4", which I mean, what if the person was kneeling? Or what if they were on the ATV? Like, what if he was on the ATV shooting? Like, I hope wait, is the state done crossing? Did they finish their cross the state? Or not their cross? Um, because did they ask him that? Because I didn't get to watch it all the rest. So did they ask? I hope they ask him like, okay, is it possible that those somebody could have been sitting on an ATV and got that angle or kneeling down? But I guess they're trying to show that like, would somebody be really kneeling down? And then it showed like Paul's was maybe somebody taller. So I think what they're trying to show is that there was more than one shooter. That engineer was trying to show. And that one of them was way shorter than Paul or way shorter than Alec, but like I said, what if he was on ATV? I mean, did they ask him, you guys, the state yet? Or is the defense still did they not finish with the guy? I don't know. I was wondering, I was gonna ask if anybody knows how tall is Eddie. So Eddie's about 6 feet too. Shoot. Hmm. Dang. Wait, wait, Stacy, did you buy or Soul, did you buy some more memberships? Thank you. Looks like Tasha got one. Oh, thank you. Cross is done? They must have been quick. Cross is done for that engineer guy? So wait, did they ask about the ATV though? Did they ask, "Oh, could it be possible um somebody that's 6 foot driving an ATV could get that angle?" Did they even bring up that scenario, I hope? I feel like state is really missing stuff, dude. Yes, I do. But I'm not convinced that he is the only one. Like I feel like he could have had help just because by the way that press conference. I know. Hold on. Maybe we should just stick to Murdaugh today because Gene will probably confuse people. I don't want to confuse and talk about too many things because we're already talking about more than one case with the Murdaughs. And then at around 1:16, the group heads out to head home. 2:13 is when they enter Archer's Creek. Okay, so here's a couple things that supposedly Paul said. Okay. So I guess at some point when they were trying to get somebody else to drive, he said, "You think you all know this river better than me? This is my boat, and I'll be damned if anyone else drives my boat." So I guess Mallory, at one point, Paul was driving so crazy that she basically said, "Please let Anthony drive. I'm scared of his driving." Basically talking about how she's scared of Paul's driving. So Paul turned and pointed at Mallory, and Anthony said he could tell that he was about to say something, and I told him to not make that mistake. He stared at me for a second and went to the steering wheel. So basically he didn't end up saying anything. And then here is where they hit the bridge. So the first impact, let's turn this around like this because they're entering this way. So make first impact right here. They hit the bridge. And Anthony and Mallory fly out. And then the boat keeps going, and then they hit a second impact here is where they guess that's where Paul falls out. Not 100% sure when Paul falls out. They're guessing that he falls out on the second impact because Paul's, I guess when they're in the water, Paul's way over here and Anthony's way over here. So that's that. Let me see. Do you count issues? Yep. Oh, I should read this. Continues to hit pilings under the bridge. Shoot, I meant to read that. There's some things that I kept to read to you guys as it goes. There's the boat. So basically, it hits the first impact and then it goes down and like hits the pilings under the boat. So I feel like it's not clear when Paul actually flew out, but they think probably the second hit because he was like farther down. And here's the interview with Miley. So this is Connor's girlfriend, which I don't have the whole thing. I've heard bits and pieces, but when I get like the whole thing without music being played in the background, that some of these and when I get the files, we could listen to them all. Anyway, Paul Murdaugh, Anthony Cook, and Mallory Beach were ejected from the boat. So you could see how it was set up. So, well, we'll go through how the boat was set up when we get to the other diagrams.
What bridge is it? Paul, what bridge is this? Paul, what bridge?
911, where's your emergency? Hello? Police, fire, EMS. Hello?
We're in a boat crash on Arthur Street.
Whereabouts on Arthur Street?
In Arthur Street, the only bridge on Arthur Street.
Archer Street?
Archer's Creek.
Archer's Creek. Archer's Creek. Is it? Okay. What's going on?
It's by Paris Island.
Right. What's going on?
We're in a boat crash.
You know what kind of a
boat crash.
A boat? Did you say a boat crash?
So these clips, I took a couple clips just because this is the area. This is from Eric Allen's video, Eric Allen, and he said it's actually like real. This is where it's at. Like he went out there, so this is real footage of the area, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. Oh wait, just real quick before we continue this, what about Alex? Is smiling at Buster like almost the whole time he was up there. He was like smiling away with that little smirk. You could tell, yeah, that's his boy. Like, that's his favorite son. And Dominic, the thing with Dylan, so, okay, so, but it has, nothing to do with the case, right? Just that she, yeah, I'm sure she was beat up because of that. But is there like anything to do with the case, though, or no?
Crash?
A boat crash.
Okay, so you're at the dock? Hello, are you at the dock?
No, we just crashed in a boat.
Okay, are you in the water or are you?
We're in the boat.
Okay.
We have someone missing.
Okay. Hang on 1 second, okay?
I'm calling in reference to a boat crash. There's 6 people on board. They currently have 1 missing. All right, it's in Archer's Creek, which is right there off of Paris Island. There's a bridge on Paris Island. They're underneath it. They crashed into the bridge.
Alpha 29, dispatch.
29. 10-4. I'll be en route to the Bell Bridge. Can you also notify Port Royal and PMO know as well?
Affirmative. We're making notifications.
Okay. Do you have a description of that person? It's 1 female. That's all the description I have of her right now.
EMS 1 respond to an accident with injuries. 50 Marina Drive Boulevard on Paris Island. Repeating. It's going to be a change in that location. They're on Malecon Drive, down right before you get to the traffic circle.
Copy.
County's on scene, Port Royal's on scene. Evidently the girl was sitting on her boyfriend's lap when they hit the bridge at a high rate of speed, and now she's missing.
Which bridge did they hit? The one on the causeway?
Stand by, sir. They hit the actual Paris Island bridge, right? We don't know. They're not. They just keep telling us they hit the bridge. 310 got on scene. He said the fog is pretty thick. At first, he couldn't even find who they were. Find them.
So far, copy advice.
Okay, so that was the 911 call, obviously. Now this is Anthony talking to one of the cops after, they get him out and stuff. Wow, Soul, thanks. Another one? Thank you. Wow, who got it this time? Who was laughing about the shooting? Wait, what? He was laughing about the shooting prosecution? Who? Yeah, because she had blunt force trauma to her head, Mallory. So that's exactly what happened. I'm sure she flew out. She probably hit her head on one of those, maybe those slabs of concrete, got knocked out, and that's why she went under and drowned, because she got knocked out, because they said there's blunt force trauma to her head. Yeah, and then so sad. Okay, so what? Where do you hear that? Crimes have consequences. Busters do oxys now. I mean, where are you getting that? Is that like confirmed? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Poots. Who's Poots? I am lost. Okay, Jen, so you're saying creepy laughing about the shooting prosecution, and then it says, did you see Poots not so funny joke when he had the gun in his hand? I'm a little bit lost to what you're talking about. Oh, that's what you call her Pootland. Oh, okay. But who was laughing? I didn't see the laughing. Huh. I usually, a lot of the times, I'm like not always watching, like, because I don't have time. Sometimes you just sit there and watch the whole time. So I'll just at least listen if I'm like running an errand, or as I'm driving or doing things. I'll have it in my ear so I can at least hear it. But I didn't see anybody laughing. All right, so here's the now really listen to what he says about who was driving. He's not so sure. He thinks Paul, but he's not 100%. Like when they hit. Okay, so let's play this.
EMS says the civilians are underneath the bridge, still invoked.
Who laughed? Okay, real quick. Who laughed though? I don't know who you're talking about that laughed. Can somebody clear it up? Are you saying Harpootland laughed? Or a witness laughed? The engineer? I missed that. Okay.
Here is the injured is on the boat underneath the bridge. They'll have to walk down to.
The most severe injured.
So after y'all hit the bridge, did y'all beach the boat up there on the side of the thing, or did the boat? That's where it ended up.
That's where it ended up.
Okay. Y'all think y'all hit one of the markers that in the beginning of it?
Sure. We don't know.
Okay.
Can I use your phone? My phone's dead. Can I use your phone?
Hey, bro, I ain't got my phone on me, brother.
You ain't got your phone on you?
No, you dropped yours in the grass right back there.
That don't surprise me.
Okay. Have you been checked out? By nameless? Hey, buddy. You been checked out by nameless?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sure. I think we still get checked out, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, shit, what's going on?
Hey, what's your last name, buddy?
Murdaugh. Murdaugh.
Sorry, I thought the Anthony one was first, but so that's Paul, obviously. You hear him talking. So that's another thing. So supposedly his phone dropped out, like when they were out, because they'd take him into the car. He's like, oh, I'll go get it from the ground, because he's asking to use the phone. But on that Murdaugh podcast, they said his phone was missing or something. So I don't know. That's why I can't wait to get my own files, because that would be weird, considering he's the cop. You'll hear the cop saying, oh, I'll go get your phone. It's right out there. It just fell out. And then they said it was, I don't know. Supposedly on that podcast, they said it was missing. So I don't know what that's all about. But I'll let you know for sure when I get all this stuff and see if it says that. And if so, like, what would be the point of hiding his phone? I don't know. All right.
Okay, what's your first name?
Paul.
Paul, P-A-U-L?
Shit.
Yeah.
But they found Miley. Hey.
We're looking right now for it. They're down there looking, okay?
But they got a good search on it, right?
Yeah.
But they probably gonna find it.
They're gonna find it, okay?
Don't you think?
They're down there looking right now, okay?
You know they got that's a good search, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they got a good team down there looking for it, okay?
Can I use your phone?
I don't have my phone on me, buddy.
Oh.
Here. Hey, here, stay right here. I'm gonna go get that one you dropped on the ground back there, alright?
Yes, sir.
Pick that up. You got it already? Yeah. Okay. So there were 6 total people in the boat. Okay. They hit, I think, one of the bridge pile, and where you see the boat is where it ended up.
Okay.
One of the young ladies got ejected. She still has not been found. Tide's going out, and we tried walking down the marsh for a little ways to find her. But the young lady down there, I think, is the most severe so far of the people that we have, the 5 that we have.
Okay. So we got 6 total, 5 accounted for.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Tide's going out, and they were running this way when they hit the bridge, so she probably got ejected and the current carried her down that way.
I did find a county out of Hampton, a deal out of Hampton County for that.
I'm about to drive down there. I done been in the back of one of them. You're not going to no cuffs again. Get in the car. Come on. I need you. Yes, come on. You're not going. You're not in trouble. I done told you that. You're in trouble. I'll be putting you in cuffs right now. Mallard? Come on. Did they find Mallard? What? You're not. Just sit right here. I'm not closing the door. I'm gonna get you a cigarette. Sit right there. Sit right here. You got everybody coming out here. You're my concern, okay? I'm fine. No, you're not. Listen. Listen, Pete. I'm here for you. All right. Me and you, we're chilling. I understand you're upset. I ain't about to sit here and tell you to calm down, okay? But I'm gonna get you a cigarette.
I'm working.
Fire, they can bring their thermal out.
Come out 14.
Listen, man, my mom works for SLED.
Okay, listen, that's cool. I done told you you're not in trouble.
I ain't
Do you want to call
that. I need
Did
to
you
call
call
her. I need to call her.
Go. You can go down there.
Yeah, Jen, they did. They found her. Like,
is there a D-long on the boat?
A what?
Elena?
No.
Huh?
No, that's Elena DeLong from Ridgeland. It's not her. That is her friend down there that's bleeding like hell.
What's your mom's number?
Mom, y'all need to come to me for quick. We hit a bridge in the boat. Connor's fucked up. Connor's messed up bad. We can't find Mallory. Morgan's messed up bad. We can't find Mallory, Mom. Where are we at?
We're at Paris Island.
Paris Island Bridge.
wait, this is Anthony because it's Keith Anthony or whatever. So he calls him Keith, but this is Mallory's boyfriend. I don't know if some people are confused. It was Paul, and now it's I think most of the rest of this part is going to be him. So his mom works for SLED, and he's calling her right now. I was wondering about that, Tasha, because when they ask him, I swear he says something like, I don't smoke. But then doesn't it seem like he takes one? But then I feel like, is he not? Why do I feel like I remember him smoking one when they were at the dock, but maybe not? I was just confused too. Because I was like, wait, why would they ask him if they didn't know for sure, like that he smoked, you know? But yeah, I guess to calm people down in situations like that, I don't know. That's a good question.
No, it's just tell you come to entrance to Paris Island. You're going to miss it.
Paris Island. Entrance to Paris Island. Entrance to Paris Island. Yeah. I don't know, Mom. There's 50 cops out here. Everybody shut up. I said there's 50 cops out here. And one of the cops was nice enough to let me call you.
I know, I
Mom,
thought I
there's
saw one
50 cops here, Coast Guard, everything. We can't find Mallory.
But what I'm saying is, I feel like when Nick Cop asks him, I feel like it sounds like he says that he doesn't smoke, but we'll go back and look at in a little bit if whoever is, because I swear one of them we see like taking a hit.
It's been 30 minutes, Mom. You probably need to call Mr. A or Mr. Phillip.
No, it's Anthony talking. Mallory's boyfriend's Anthony. One that died.
Alpha 14 is that?
Hey, one's injured on the boat all the way down there. I don't know if EMS knows all that, but
So
all
we're
the way
DNR
down.
loading now. They're giving an ETA of 20 minutes.
Hello? Hey, it's Lance Corporal Sheriff's Office. How you doing? All right, right. Your son's not in trouble or anything right now. Like I said, he's very, as he has a right to be shocked right now. Sitting on his lap. You probably do need to end up eventually coming down this way. If you don't have a problem with that, you probably don't need to ride. You told me you're in law enforcement? Okay. All right, yes, man. We're here. Like I said, and I'll let you come see your son as soon as you get here. I got him pretty much as calm as I can get him. You know, I totally understand. So, me and him,
Yeah, it's that. Oh, here. Let me rewind. I'll show you. It's this guy. Oh, you can't see my cursor. So the tall guy right there with the black collared shirt and bow tie, and then the gray suit. That's Anthony. He's the one talking. Mallory standing above Mallory. And then these two guys on the right, they're cousins. Okay. And Paul's friends with Connor. And Paul and Anthony don't really they don't like each other very much. But I think Anthony was just there because he's Connor's cousin and Connor's friends with Paul. And really all the three girls are really good friends, I guess, too. So the girls are what brought them together.
I'll be hanging out with him the entire time, okay?
No, he didn't die. The only one that died was Mallory.
Just Google Paris Island.
Connor?
Yeah, just Google Paris Island, the main entrance gate. We're around the main roads. One way in, one way out. You will not miss us.
Morgan, all the girlfriend I think heard her
Paris Island, yeah, the Marine Corps base. Like I said, coming through there, and we're as soon as we come through the little first gate. We're on the main road. You won't miss us.
Get that motherfucker right there away from me.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be here. You talking about that one with no shirt on? Hey, do not. I don't want you getting in trouble. You hear me? Listen to me.
Listen to him breathing. He's mad. Okay, so what happens is, because I watched some of them, I can't find, like when I get the full one, when I get all the body cam where I have all of it, because any of the ones I could find, they're all like clipped, and I just wanted to find one that had the full audio so we could listen to it. But if you find some of the clip ones, so what happens here is when he says, "Get him away from me," you see Paul walking up. So Anthony's in the cop car, and you could see him, the cops are walking up with Paul, and they have like a towel around him because Paul ended up taking off his pants and his shirt while he was in the water or something. When he got out of the water, I mean, he was in his boxers, like, so supposedly like his wallet's gone with his fake ID, I guess. At least that Murdaugh podcast said that was gone. They couldn't find that. They couldn't find his phone. Anyway, so he's walking up, and the cops are like have a towel over him. He's walking up to the cop car in front of him. And it looks like he turns and looks at him, but I'm not so sure if he really was like laughing at him or smiling. I mean, he might have just, he was pretty far away. I mean, maybe he was just like, I don't think he was, I don't know. Was he smiling to be a jerk, or was it just like he's so drunk and he just like smiling? Like, was he purposely doing that? I don't know. But Anthony took it like, you're smiling. Like he's like making a joke out of, Mallory being missing. Pretty sure. It seems like it's pretty dark. I couldn't, it's almost like hard to see their faces, but so yeah, this is why he's like, get him away from me.
Mom's on the way. I told her I'm gonna keep
this motherfucker to let me drive this goddamn.
I'm hanging with you till your mom gets here, okay?
That motherfucker.
Timmy. Timmy. That's what I said, Timmy, earlier.
He ain't gonna get no fucking trouble.
Oh, yes.
Bro, you fucking smiling like it's fucking funny.
Sit down. Sit down.
My fucking girlfriend's gone, bro.
Sit down.
You think it's fucking funny?
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Hope you rot fucking hell.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Hey, somebody put him in the car. The one with the towel.
Go ahead.
Where's your cigarette at?
It happened in 2019.
Another one? Here. Here. I ain't got a lot now. Don't waste them. Here. Here.
We can
Throw
see
the
blood
cigarette.
right there.
I got you. He's going away. Don't even look at him. They're going to put him in the car. All right.
You know, about a month ago, a year ago, me and her got in a wreck together.
In a vehicle?
Yeah. And I thought she was dead, man. I thought she was dead.
Said, how old are
And
you?
she lived, dude. She was, I'll be 21 in 3 days, man.
What about the driver of the boat? She 21?
No.
Is everybody on the boat's been drinking?
Yeah.
Especially the driver?
I begged to drive that
But
fucking
the
boat.
driver, how much has he had to drink tonight?
Dude,
So here is their diagram. So Morgan puts, because the wheels at on the left, so they're both on like in the little bench or whatever, but the wheels on the left. So it would be make more sense that the person that's on the left would be the one driving. So Morgan puts Connor driving, Miley puts Paul driving, Anthony. So that Eric Allen is the one guy that showed this diagram, and he says, oh, Morgan and Anthony both show that Connor's driving on the diagrams, and Miley shows that Paul was. But when I look closely at Anthony's, it's hard to tell what he was trying to say, but I almost think he is putting Paul. I think he's, the LT means left and RT means right, so I think he is putting Paul in the driver's seat. But just listen to what he says, though, when they ask him. He says he thinks Paul was driving, but he doesn't know because he didn't see.
I can tell you this much. We left, I don't even know where the fuck we were. We left and stopped fucking downtown Buford. And me and him about fought on the fucking dock because I told him not to go up there to that fucking bar that we needed to be going home.
Downtown? How are y'all drinking down there and none of y'all
Hell, I wasn't. I stayed on the damn boat.
But he was drinking actually at the bar?
I reckon. I didn't go up there.
So y'all came from downtown through the creek, and that's when he was going way too fast?
So I don't even know. I finally got to the point I grabbed my girlfriend and put her in my lap in the bottom of the boat and was holding on with my eyes closed. The next thing I know, I'm in the fucking water and I can't find it, man.
No, that blood could be any blood from Mallory's is in the water. She flew out. So no, that blood is from either Morgan's, because she hurt her hand, I think. Connor like broke his jaw, so I think Connor was bleeding too. I don't know if Miley got any injuries. I don't think, but I think the other two were bleeding on the boat. So
can you feel that heat in there?
Dude, I'm not.
I know. Well, if you are, your adrenaline's up. You can't feel it. Smoke a cigarette.
I didn't smoke a cigarette in 3 months.
Well.
Oh, he just said, I haven't smoked a cigarette in 3 months. Okay. I didn't catch that. So when they keep showing Miley's interview, it doesn't look like she has any injuries on her. So that's why I don't think she got anything. Because I think she's the one that said she was able to brace herself right before they impacted, where they hit the bridge.
It's all right. Don't start, but it's okay to have one now.
Okay, he says don't start, but it's okay to have one now. Does he get one? It's kind of a bad influence. Guy's trying to quit.
Is there anybody in the water looking for him?
Yes, we got MRO, we got DNR, fire department's got their boats in the water. Coast Guard is on the way with the chopper, and DNR's en route. Alright?
She's at the bottom of the river, man.
They're gonna have a dive.
Did you guys catch that earlier? Which I didn't catch that the first how many times I listened to this because I was focused on the other parts. But did he say like about a couple minutes ago, he said that him and Mallory got in an accident a little while ago? Like, I don't know, he didn't say a time, but he said we got in an accident before together, and I thought she was dead there. She almost died, or I thought she was dead, but she lived. Did you guys hear that? So I wonder, was there drinking involved there? Was he driving? How badly injured was she for him to think that she was dead? But he's like, but she lived. You guys heard that, right? Wow. Yeah, I'm sure it's a car accident. That's what I was thinking too. But wonder how bad it was. Wow. Oh, no, I mean, I think he said, I don't know. I always thought he said me and her. I thought he was talking about him and Mallory, and that almost like he was saying like she lived, like he was happy and like look, now look what's going on. I mean, he didn't say all that, but almost like that was why he was bringing it up. Like what the heck? But I know him and supposedly, I think I heard this from the Murdaugh podcast where they said that Paul and Morgan, maybe his girlfriend at the time, got in an accident, like a car accident, and it was like drinking was involved, like a drinking and driving, but there's no record of it. I forget how she said she found out about it, but there's no record. So she like insinuated, well, maybe that got swept under the bus because the Murdaughs got that basically off the record where nothing ever came of it. But I don't think he was talking about that. It sounded like he said me and her. That's true, Sandy. That's a good point.
We got a dive team, we got a bunch of resources, okay? Regardless, like I told you, regardless of the outcome, we will find her. Alright? But you just gotta keep faith that she's somewhere on the bank, or you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Where'd y'all put in at?
Chelsea Island.
Chelsea out of Kalawasa?
The only island on Chelsea. Yeah. Do y'all know Alec Murdaugh?
Oh yeah, I know that name.
That's his son.
That's so driving the boat?
Good luck.
No matter who you know. Driver is the one with no clothes on, correct?
To be honest with you,
the one you were getting mad at.
I mean, you heard what, and Eric points it out too. Like, he goes, the driver was the one with no clothes on, which is Paul. He goes on to say, well, to be honest with you, and then the freaking cop cuts him off. I think he's probably going to be like, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. But you'll hear what he says, later than after. Okay, so I'm going to rewind that, but all right.
The driver is the one with no clothes on, correct?
To be honest with you,
the one you were getting mad at back there, he was in his drawers.
He was the last one driving whenever I got down in the Florida boat and held on my girlfriend. Yes, sir.
And you got to remember, when he got down on the ground, it wasn't he got down because they were hitting something. He got down before they even hit. Like, he just got down when they started speeding up. So there would have been time that they could have switched. He's just saying when he got down on the ground, when Paul started, he was just driving too fast. He got down on the ground because he was scared. Paul was driving, but he couldn't see. They might have switched because the girls say they were like switching. Him and Connor were switching, where when Paul would go up talk to his girlfriend or yell at his girlfriend, and Connor would take over driving. And think about it, Morgan's the one that said Connor was driving originally, because maybe she knew Paul was up talking to me at that time, so Connor had to be driving. Maybe, you never know. And maybe she changed her mind, because one of the theories is maybe because they figured, oh, Paul will get away with it. He gets away with everything because his parents, so we just put it on Paul. Or maybe to create some kind of confusion, because if they can't tell who's driving, nobody will get in trouble. I don't know why she changed her mind. She says that she went there that night or the next day to the bridge, and it just like well, we'll read the statement when it comes. I at least have a part of it, and then when the rest of it comes up, I'll read it all. But there's a part of it at that part that I have that's coming up on this video. Yeah, they were. We'll show you the boat too. I'll show you. So the driver's seat, there's like they were basically both sitting in the captain's chair, the driver's seat, whatever you call it, but the wheel's on the left side. So that's what I'm saying. Connor, you saw those diagrams. So Morgan has Connor in the driver's seat and Paul. Well, actually, she does have Paul next to him. She doesn't have Paul next to her. So scratch that about him talking to her. I don't know. But she has Connor in the driver's seat, basically. And then what was I gonna say? Yeah, so it would have been easy for them to switch. They were both sitting there, but the wheel's on the left. All right, let me continue here. Hey, Matt.
Let me know if you need another cigarette, all right, Bubba?
This is my dude with the busted mouth eye.
He's still got clothes on, correct?
Yeah.
All right, they're good. Everybody's good physical wise.
That's my first cut.
Okay, but I just we need to know exactly who's driving.
He said busted mouth, because I think he ended up breaking his jaw, that Connor. Which it makes me wonder, was Connor driving? Because like, did he hit his freaking mouth on the freaking wheel? Maybe. I don't know.
And you said that was the last one you saw, so that's what I told them, because his ass will be responsible. Okay. You hear me? Don't worry about that. We're gonna handle on that end. Okay. All right. So. Sure.
Hey, I'm with Department of Natural Resources. Who was driving the boat?
Crash House 67.
The last time I grabbed my girlfriend and got down in the bottom of the boat, Paul was driving.
Paul was driving?
Yes, sir. I begged and begged and begged.
But I mean, you listen, if you know what he said before, when he grabbed her, it was before they wrecked. It wasn't. So he's trying to like, what he's saying, it is confusing that. Last he saw, Paul was driving, but when they hit, remember what he said before, when they hit, like, so yeah. What was I gonna say though? I was gonna say something else. Shoot. I don't remember. I think there's a comment. Hold on, let me see. I forget. I thought the other guy, he only took the wheel because Paul walked away from it, and then Paul would be back over. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what was happening. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Do you see how it is unclear then? And so for this guy, the reason, so people are thinking that this guy wrote unclear, and some people were like, Anthony was so clear. He said Paul was driving. Why would this officer say it's unclear who was driving when Anthony told him Paul was driving? No. Anthony said he wasn't sure. When he took Mallory down on the ground, Paul was driving. He doesn't know who was driving when they hit. So, I mean, this is a big deal. So I would say it's unclear too. Wouldn't you? Like, you've heard what he said so far. Wouldn't you be like, well, it's unclear? I mean, Paul was the last driving, but Anthony didn't actually see when they actually hit, because he took Mallory on the ground before they even hit. He took her on the ground when they just started speeding up. So, okay, big white horse, go. Let me know what you come up with. All right, let's continue here.
Been begged to let me
Stand by 1
drive.
second.
And where were y'all coming from?
Pawkey.
Oh, and he also says, listen, he should say this soon if he hasn't already said it, and I just missed it because I was talking. But he says how, I think it is coming up, where he's like, I begged him to drive, and they both laughing. So he's talking about his cousin Connor and Paul are both sitting there laughing and not letting him drive.
Huh?
Pawkey.
Pawkey? Okay. And Paul was driving, not Connor?
If Connor was driving, it happened after I had done flipped the
Battalion
fuck out
1
and laid
with
down
the fire
in the bottom
department
of
is
the
looking for
boat.
DNR.
They were both sitting on the front seat.
You were laying in the front.
In the bottom, no, the back of the bottom of the boat.
Before you hit?
Yes.
Okay, and Paul and Connor were sitting on behind the console?
Seat,
Yeah.
I can get a
Okay,
better
I had
location
done fought with both of them for 30 minutes about letting me drive, and both of them thought it was fucking funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna do everything we can to find her. Okay. Appreciate it.
Yes.
That's a good point. Hold on, let's think about that. Where is this? Well, let me find this. Let's think about that, like where that was at. Okay, so it doesn't seem like they're clear on when he took his clothes off from what I've seen so far. But like I said, when I get all the files, maybe it's clear. If he took them off before he went in, I mean, when did he, wait, hold on. What? I'm trying to think back on some of the stuff because I mean, I've been watching so much stuff, Murdaugh stuff all week. It was all Murdaugh. What they said about him when he took off his clothes. Did they say he took them off before? Did anybody remember? And I'll go back to one of those pictures in a minute. I have the pictures that I put in this video, and one of them shows it. Here. Actually, here. Let's do that before. Because you know me, I'll end up freaking forgetting. All right, hold on. Let me find the picture on my files of the boats where it shows the sweater and shirt. Where is it? Here's one of them. Well, figures, look. The freaking, it's right in the middle. Like at least this one. That's right in the middle. So here's the boat chairs like right here. And then so it's on the left and his shirt's right in the middle. Let me see where the other ones. But this one, that doesn't make sense because look, they must have moved it. Or wait, no, that's not his coat. I don't even know what that is. Camouflage stuff. So that's not his shirt. The shirt was laying on the other side where they would have been sitting. But where's his coat at? Where did you see the coat? Whoever said that. Because he wasn't wearing a camouflage coat. I think this is just some like blanket or a seat. That looks like a padded seat. Maybe it's a cover for the boat. I don't know. But that doesn't look like, that's not his coat. That's his shirt that was on under his coat. Remember I said it looked like there's a flannel sticking out of his, under his coat or whatever sweatshirt thing he had on. I don't see the coat, but the flannel is there. Yeah, this looks like some blanket or something. So the flannel, like I said, is on the ground in the middle, which doesn't tell us anything. Dang. All right. Let me go back to the video.
You guys in college or something altogether?
No, I've known all of them since I was a kid.
So you guys just get...
Yeah, the painting was of the grandpa, Murdaugh. They took it down for this trial, Judy.
For the weekend. Yes, 49, why not? Go ahead. Are you down?
Connor's my first cousin.
Okay, now I got to stop and read. They said that, but did they say that they remember when he took it off? That was what I'm trying to ask. Like, why do I feel like I remember something that they did say he took his shirt off while he was in the boat, but then when he somehow ended up with his pants off, that they were confused? I feel like I heard that in one of the videos I was watching. So I don't know if they were confused that maybe he took his pants off in the water, which would make sense because his wallet would be in his pants. And right, probably. And they said, supposedly, if the Murdaugh podcast is right, she said that the wallet with his ID, his fake ID and stuff was missing. So that would kind of make sense if he took his pants off in the water and then they're gone. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they said, yeah, he had taken them off on the boat and then they don't know how his pants got taken off. Pretty sure. But like I said, I'm going to get all of the discovery and stuff because I requested it. So we'll see. Okay, so let's read this. So this is actually Connor. So somebody says, and that's what I'm saying. Once I get it, this was the only freaking little screenshot in the video. I can't wait till I have the whole, like all the interview so I can read it all. But anyway, so this part that we got is, so somebody says, was it not the same day? He says, no, sir. He's always had problems with DNR from my concern. So Connor's talking about to one of the officers probably, or well, he's talking about Paul always having problems with DNR. And he says, what do you mean? He's always had problems with DNR? Like showing out and getting pulled over in the boat and stuff? You've been with him. Oh, he's sorry. He's like showing out and getting pulled over on the boat and stuff. And the person asks, you've been with him? No, sir. When he has been pulled over before? And he says, no, sir. Has he told you about the times he had been pulled over? And the Connor says, and he told me DNR doesn't like him, and I heard from other people, certain DNR. So yeah, so supposedly DNR had a problem with Paul, and they were some of the people on scene. So, all right. You don't think it says what, NM? And then this is one of his things that he got in trouble over. Littering. But hopefully I'll be able to get more, see what anything else. So this was for arrest date 4/22 in 2017. So that'd have been 2 years prior. Okay. So here is Keith Anthony, the guy we were just listening to. So Keith Anthony Cook. So he's Mallory's boyfriend. So here's his statement. So, like I said, at least there's 2 pages. Man, I can't wait to get the whole everything. Okay, so whenever we left Pocky, Paul was driving. When Paul and Connor decided they wanted to go to downtown Beaufort, Paul went to a bar at downtown Beaufort, and the rest of us stayed. Yeah, but Connor went with him too. It just says Paul went, but we saw Connor was with him in the bar. Anyway, and the rest of us, rest of the group stayed on the dock. When they came back, they're both pretty intoxicated. He must have just forgot to put Connor because he even said when they came back, they were both pretty intoxicated. Whenever we pulled off from the boat or from the dock, Paul was driving, but they were both in the captain's seat, horse playing. Everybody started getting mad and arguing with them, trying to let me drive. Trying to let me drive the boat, but Paul got defensive and started yelling at everybody else. So Connor tried to calm everybody down and let him drive the boat. So I finally told them to let me drive or put me out on the dock. What did it say? Blank got slammed. No, the throttle got slammed by who? I don't know. I fell in the bottom of the boat and took Mallory with me. The next thing I know, I wake up. And then we'll have to go to page 2. But let's see what he said. So he says he started yelling at everybody else. So Connor tried to calm everybody down and let him drive the boat. So I don't know if he's trying to say that Connor was driving the boat, at least at that time that he's talking about. I'm confused on the statement. Connor let everyone, wait, Connor tried to calm everybody down and let him drive the boat. Wait, Paul got defensive and yelling at everybody else. So Connor tried to, I'm thinking that he's saying you let Paul drive. At least this is this isn't the time of the wreck, but at that time to calm everybody down, and he just let Paul drive. But that Eric guy, he took it a different way and took it as he's saying that Connor was driving at that time. So I don't know, but oh well, they're talking about a different time than they're all arguing anyway, so it's still not clear on when the crash. Okay. I forget if he has the continued part on here. Let me see. No, I don't know. But I'll have it, you guys, like I said, when I get my copies. So here's Connor's statement. I, Connor, make the following statement, freely and voluntarily. Look how short his is. We were heading down Archer's Creek, heading towards Broad River. I remember seeing the bridge, and that was about it. That's all. That's all he says. Okay. Next, we have Morgan. We left downtown Beaufort around 2. From there, Paul drove. He was very intoxicated, as well as Connor. We putted around until Connor took over. So she's saying Connor drove. We slammed into the bridge. I was the only one not thrown into the water. In the water. That's not true. Miley and Connor, I didn't think were thrown in the water. Right? I was the only one not thrown into the water. Miley, Connor, Anthony, and Paul got out. Mallory was nowhere to be found. Wait, wow, hold on a second. I was just concentrating on the highlighted part earlier when I was. I can't wait to get like those videos where Miley's being interviewed and stuff, because I thought Miley and Connor and Morgan, all three. I just thought Paul, Anthony, and Mallory were the only ones in the water. Yeah, because weren't you guys, like everybody that's been looking into this case, weren't you guys, from what everybody said, that the 3 of them were on the boat? Not like only 3 of them were thrown from the water, in the water? Anyway, I'll have to look into that. Or like I said, when I get the full stuff, we'll have to see. That's not what the rest of the stuff. Let's see here. So this is Miley. So this is Connor's girlfriend. So that last one was Paul's girlfriend statement. This is Connor's girlfriend's statement. We were driving towards Checkasee in the boat. Checkasee? I don't know, Checkasee in the boat. I was in the front under a blanket next to Morgan, and we all of a sudden right in front of the bridge. Wait, what? All of a sudden, we right in front of the whatever, I don't know. And it came out of nowhere. It was foggy, and we hit impact. Next thing. No, we were all severely. We were all swimming, and I choked on my. Hold on a second. Why am I having trouble reading this? Screaming. We were all screaming, and I cheated. I checked on my friend, and my best friend is missing. She's gone. I think this is screaming, not swimming. 'Cause I swear. Let me see what you guys are saying. Paul's responsible for the wreck, and I've shown some remorse instead of trying to put up. So you guys, nobody's responded about if you guys have got the impression that only 3 got thrown from the boat and the other 3 were on the boat. But I mean, they got hurt. At least Connor and Morgan did. But anyway, okay. I don't know why Morgan said that on hers. That she was the only one. Wow, maybe she didn't even realize. And here's their diagrams where Morgan puts Connor driving, Miley puts Paul. Anthony, I'm not sure. Like that Eric said that he put Connor in the driver's seat. I think he's labeling it left where I think he put Paul in there. Okay, so like I said, I only have this part of this the freaking statement, but I can't wait till I get it all. So it just cuts right here. Wanted me to do, and he told me to go to the hospital and begin interviewing and investigating who the driver was. While walking back to the truck, I stopped and asked Anthony Cook who was on board the vessel, if he knew who was driving the boat, and he did not know. I went to the hospital and arrived approximately around 400, that's 4 in the morning. The first person I spoke to was Paul Murdaugh. He only had boxers on and had bloodshot eyes and slurred speech. I asked him to tell me what happened and who was driving the boat. He responded, "Why do you need to know who was driving? This isn't going to help find Mallory. What if it was me who was driving the boat?" I responded with, "Was it you who was driving?" Paul Murdaugh responded with, "I definitely was not driving. These are my best friends." I left the room and went and talked to Connor Cook, and Miley Altman was in the room also. I asked Connor Cook what happened, and he responded with, "I don't remember anything but hitting the bridge." Connor Cook had bloodshot eyes and slurred speech also. I asked Miley Altman if she knew who was driving the boat, and she did not know either. I then went back to Paul Murdaugh's room and asked him if he could give me a statement on what happened. He responded, "Yes, I can." I began to get my forms out, and when Mr. Rudolph Murdaugh and Mr. Alex Murdaugh walked in the room and began to tell Paul that he doesn't have to give a statement to me, and I told Randolph Murdaugh and Alex Murdaugh that I'm talking with Paul. Mr. Randolph then said, "Well, I am his lawyer starting out, and he hasn't given any statement." So that's his grandpa. Paul's grandpa, and Alec went there and then basically told him not to give a statement. Okay. I then left the room and went to Morgan Dottie's room. So she goes to Morgan's, right? Or this officer goes to Morgan's room. I talked with Morgan and was asking her what happened. When Alex Murdaugh tried to walk into the room, and Morgan told the nurse she did not want anybody in her room but her mom and myself. She wanted all the doors closed and curtains to be closed also. She told me, "I don't want anybody to hear what I'm going to say." I asked her about what happened, and she told me they were at a party at Pawkey Island with friends. They left the party and went downtown to Luther's, where Connor and Paul went inside because they were the only ones with their IDs. They left downtown and was heading home, and Connor was driving because Paul was too drunk to drive. We hit the bridge and rode up onto the rocks. Mallory was nowhere to be found. I asked her if she could write a statement in what she just told me, and she did. Continued on the second page. So she's saying Connor was driving in this statement, but then you'll see the next day she changes it. Okay, so this is Connor. Says, "Yes, sir, stopped me in the hallway and told you what? That everything was going to be all right." So he's talking about Alec. That everything was going to be all right. I just need to keep my mouth shut and tell them I didn't know who was driving and that he's got me. So I truly believe that Alec thought Connor was driving, that Paul told him Connor was driving, whether Paul was lying or not. Alec believed Paul. And so Alec, when he goes and tries to talk to Connor, I think he really truly believed that Connor was driving, and he was trying to tell him, don't talk. Like he was trying to help him so nobody got in trouble, that Connor didn't get in trouble, that nobody did. You know what I'm saying? I think he was trying to help them all. To be honest, I really do. I do think that he believed his son, and Paul told him that Connor was. Okay. So he tells Connor, everything's going to be all right. I needed to keep my mouth shut and tell them I didn't know who was driving and that he's got me. What did you understand that meant? Objection to the form, the witness, I guess don't say anything. I never been in anything like this. All right, you guys, I know, I'm sorry. I'm going to have all these when I get the forms. These are just the ones that that were on the video that I could get. Okay. So Morgan, this is her redone statement now. Okay. Tried to enter my room multiple times, but my nurse would not allow him to. In the hallway, he kept saying I was with him. Oh no, this is just just the statement they asked her. Never mind. The rewritten one comes later. Okay. So this is from, I think, hold on. Tried to enter my room multiple times, but my nurse would not allow him to. In the hallway, he kept saying I was with him and that he needed to tell me what to say. When I was discharged at 9 a.m., I went to the bridge. Oh, no, this is the real one. So I went to the bridge and stayed there until 6 when they shut down the search. I have so much going through my head last night. It all started coming back to me. I have the strongest feeling. You know what? I don't think I have the other part. Oh, yeah, I do. I was going to say, what did I forget? Paul was driving. Today, Monday morning, I texted Austin, and he allowed me to rewrite the statement now that my head was on right. So now she drew the diagram and just basically changed her mind. Now Paul's driving. So
Hey, I'm with Department of Natural Resources. Who was driving the boat? I'll pick up.
The last time I grabbed my girlfriend and got down in the bottom of the boat, Paul was driving.
Paul was driving?
Yes.
The driver is the one with no clothes on, correct?
To be honest with you,
the one you were getting mad at back there, he was in his drawers.
he was the last one driving whenever I got down in the floor of the boat and had on my girlfriend. Yes, sir.
And Paul was driving, not Connor?
If Connor was driving, it happened after I had done flipped out and laid down.
With the fire department that's looking for DNR.
They were both sitting on the front seat.
You were laying in the front.
In the bottom, no, the back of the bottom of the boat.
Before you hit?
Yes.
Okay, and Paul and Connor were sitting on right behind the console?
Yes.
I can get a better
I had done fought with both of them for 30 minutes about letting me drive, and both of them thought it was fucking funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
okay, so here's some of the photos. So this is the Island Palace. I forget what it's called, but they have some good videos. I think I have their logo at the end of this so here's some of the, so they dropped the 3 felony boating charges against, all right, where? I want to rewind that. What did it say? Hold on. Three felony boating charges. But so what I have to see, I need to do a little bit more research because what was pending then? I thought that was still pending. So they just must have dropped some of them, but what were the charges that were pending? I wonder. Because he still was up for some charges. I'm just curious what they actually were before he got killed. Okay, so you see, so this is the boat, the front, like we're like basically in the front looking back because the driver is on the other side of this. The wheel will be on the other side. So man, I wish you could see my cursor. So the wheel is going to be on the right side because we're looking at it like this. So we see the blood is over here on the left. So we know the 2 people were bleeding, Connor and Morgan. Okay. So we also know that, oh shoot, hold on. Let me see the diagram which side Morgan was, and hold on one second. Which side Miley was sitting on. Hold on, let me see what they put. Okay, so Morgan, I mean, I guess anything could have happened when after the boat hits, they could have switched positions. But as far as where they all said that the 2 girls were sitting. So Morgan, hold on, I'm looking at the diagram right here. Okay. They're all these are all the same with everybody's. So we're looking at it this way, like the camera's facing, like going down this way. So the blood's like right here. So we know Connor was bleeding and we know Morgan was bleeding. But like I said, I don't know after they hit, I have no idea where they ended up going as they're bleeding. So I guess that can't really tell us too much. Because they're probably like standing on the boat or yelling for Paul and Anthony. I mean, who knows where they're standing there as they're dripping. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go back to the video. All right. Hold on. I want to go. Hold on. I want to kind of get a good perspective of. It's going too fast. Where'd it go? Hold on. Where did that go? Oh, I want to find this picture because I want to kind of see like where Anthony and Mallory were sitting. I think I rewound it enough. Okay, so that's the front looking back. Okay, hold on. It really is a small boat. Oh, that's the front still. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah. I thought it was a different angle. Shoot, never mind. I'll have to find another picture where it shows more of the back. Yeah, that was like you guys were saying in the chat, like even like a good boater would have trouble doing that, especially at night. Like them being, first of all, kids, not having that much experience, being drunk at night. Somebody said the lights.
It's been more than 2 months since Paul and Maggie Murdaugh were murdered in Colleton County. Still, no answer as to who's responsible for the mother and son's deaths. But tonight, we have newly released photos from the night of the fatal boat crash Paul Murdaugh was involved in back in 2019. A warning, some may find these images disturbing.
911, where's your emergency? Hello? Police, fire, EMS. Hello?
These newly released photos from the fatal boat crash near Paris Island back on February 24th, 2019 give a glimpse of what the scene was like that night. Here you can see severe damage along the outside of the 17-foot Sea Hunt Triton and what appears to be blood smeared on the inside.
All 5 of us are on the bank, but we're missing one person.
The boat slammed into a piling on the Archers Creek Bridge. The impact threw 19-year-old Mallory Beach overboard. Her body wouldn't be found until a week later.
I never knew what it would be like to go through something like this.
Months later, on what would have been Beach's 20th birthday, Paul Murdaugh was indicted on charges of boating under the influence causing death and 2 counts of boating under the influence causing great bodily injury. In these photos, taken on the boat as evidence, you can see a cooler full of beer and ice, as well as many empty bottles, cans, and boxes of alcohol. The Attorney General's office dropped all charges against Paul Murdaugh due to his death. Investigators have also set up a 24-hour tip line for information on the deaths of Paul and his mother, Maggie. You can reach it at 803-896-2605.
911, where's your emergency?
We're in a boat crash on Arthur Creek. We have someone missing.
You're listening to 911 calls from what could be considered the crash that started it all. The night in February of 2019, a young Paul Murdaugh allegedly drove and crashed the family boat after a night of drinking. That incident left 19-year-old Mallory Beach dead, thrusting the Murdaugh family into a spotlight unlike one they had ever been in before. On the boat, 5 of Paul's closest friends, including Mallory Beach, her boyfriend, Anthony Cook, his cousin Connor Cook, along with Connor's girlfriend and Paul's girlfriend. Other people on the boat have filed multiple lawsuits against the Murdaugh family, as well as Parker's Corporation, which is accused of selling underage Paul the alcohol found on the boat after the crash. The most prominent of cases filed, Renee Beach versus Parker's and members of the Murdaugh family. Beach filed the suit on behalf of her daughter, alleging wrongful death. Now, the lawsuits come as Paul would never be convicted because he died before he could take the stand. The crash, Alec Murdaugh told officers, is a potential motive for Paul's murder. February 24th, 2019, the night everything changed. The night that would lead to 19-year-old Paul Murdaugh facing charges for Mallory Beach's death. This surveillance video, released by the State Department of Natural Resources, shows an area near the New Day dock in Beaufort. You can see Beach here with her boyfriend, Anthony Cook. Also pictured, friend Connor Cook, who made that 911 call after the crash. Paul Murdaugh leaves the frame, followed by Beach, smiling with her boyfriend. This at 1:13 in the morning, about an hour before the crash.
Please send someone.
Oh, no, we're calling, okay? And well, who's that in the background?
There's 6 of us and 1 is missing.
Okay, who's missing?
Female Mallory Beach is missing.
Okay.
Cut to the chaos after Beach went missing. 911 calls detail how the 6 teenagers crashed into the Archers Creek Bridge near Paris Island. Dispatch calls paint a picture of Mallory's final moments around 2:30 a.m.
They were driving at a high rate of speed in the water in a boat. Female was sitting on her boyfriend's lap. They hit the bridge. She is now missing.
The front left side, which would be the port side, the driver's side, is split open from the nose all the way 6 foot back. There's a 6-foot gash where the boat actually came apart at the seam.
DNR officers took these photos aboard the boat the next day, showing coolers filled with drinks still on ice, empty bottles and cans left behind. Hours earlier, surveillance footage shows Paul Murdaugh buying alcohol at a Parker's store, police say with a fake ID, allegedly his older brother Buster's, according to a lawsuit against the store, specifically a Parker's in Ridgeland, South Carolina. Surveillance from Luther's Rare and Well Done in Beaufort show Murdaugh ordering more drinks after docking the boat nearby. Then comes the crash. 4 of the 5 teens were rushed to Beaufort Memorial Hospital. Volunteer boaters found Beach's body a week later, a few miles away from the site of the crash. On April 18th, 2019, on what would have been Mallory's 20th birthday, prosecutors indicted and charged Paul with 3 felony counts of boating under the influence, including causing Beach's death and seriously injuring 2 other passengers. He pled not guilty to all charges and was out on bond awaiting trial, but was shot and killed along with his mother, Maggie Murdaugh, before the case went to court. Prosecutors say Alec told officers the night of Maggie and Paul's murders, the boat crash was the motive for the killings. Now, despite the case being closed after Paul's death, the Beach family and other passengers on the boat continue the fight for justice through legal action. The Beach family's 2019 wrongful death suit is still pending. Parker's Corporation, along with Alec Murdaugh and others, are named in that lawsuit, claiming Paul was able to buy alcohol from the store while underage. In 2021, passenger Connor Cook also filed a similar suit against Alec Murdaugh, claiming he tried to frame him as the driver of the boat instead of his son. In early 2022, Miley Altman and Morgan Doty, 2 other passengers, filed identical personal injury lawsuits against the Murdaughs and Parkers, alleging Paul's parents knew he was drinking the night of the crash. Anthony Cook, Mallory's boyfriend at the time, also has a pending case against Murdaugh and Parkers. Murdaugh's attorneys filed a motion last year to delay the trial brought by Beach's family until after he's tried on the 2 counts of murder in the deaths of Maggie and Paul. While there's currently no set court date, a judge did deny that motion. Murdaugh's attorneys say evidence collected in the Beach family lawsuit could affect his upcoming criminal trial. Of course, that's set to start on Monday. Now, to read or watch more of our continuing coverage leading up to Murdaugh's trial set to begin, just head to live5news.com, find the News tab, and click on the Murdaugh cases.
We would request the court modify the bond so that, firstly, so Paul Murdaugh continue his classes and meet with his lawyers while we prepare this case.
Just ask that we add some sort of monitoring or raise the amount. Just change the other factors to compensate for that change.
Travel will be restricted to the state of South Carolina. Anything further from Texas?
No, Your Honor.
Anything from the state?
Just for clarity purposes, you are not ordering an alcohol monitor?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Nothing further.
Thank you.
Island Packet, that's what it's called. So that's another source that I used.
Police on his own recognizance, unless it's shown that he is a danger to the community or a danger of flight. And I think we should reiterate this. He is presumed innocent. He's pleading not guilty. And as a result, he should be afforded a release on his own recognizance because there is no showing of any of the criteria which would affect that.
There has been no showing by the state and no evidence presented to this court that the defendant will not appear when he is called to court. In fact, all the evidence points otherwise, that he will voluntarily appear when so required. Therefore, I'm going to set a personal recognizance bond in the amount of $50,000.
A teen accused of causing the boating accident friend and made his first Beaufort room today. News 3's Andrew Davis was there and is joining us live from the Low Country newsroom tonight with what happened.
As the 19-year-old faced a judge for the first time since being accused in that crash that left Mallory Beach dead. Paul Murdaugh sat silently for most of his arraignment hearing as a packed house of friends and witnesses waited to hear more about what crashed and Mallory Beach died. He and all the other underage passengers that night aboard were deemed grossly intoxicated by police. Murdaugh's attorney made his plea of not guilty to 3 felony counts and waived the hearing of any charges, which means the details will stay hidden until it goes to trial. The focus then turned to whether that 19-year-old should go to jail.
He is presumed innocent. He's pleading not guilty. And as a result, he should be afforded a release on his own recognizance because there is no showing of any of the criteria which would affect that.
We would have some concern as to danger to the community, given that this case involves the use of alcohol. Standard condition with bond is that we not have any crimes committed on bond, so I would assume that would include the underage use of alcohol.
Murdaugh showed good faith by turning over his passport and waiving extradition, which means if he does try to run, he would be brought back to stand trial.
And no evidence presented to this court that the defendant will not appear when he is called to court. In fact, all the evidence points otherwise. I'm going to set a personal recognizance bond in the amount of $50,000.
Just wanted to accommodate any concerns the AG's office had. He's not leaving the state. He's not going to leave the country. So, and he'd waive extradition. Those are normal conditions. So, no, we did exactly what's normal. This is being handled in a very normal fashion.
Anything to say about that, about why he decided to plead not guilty?
Because he's not guilty.
Mallory Beach's parents the entire time presented today. They walked out saying they had no comment. The South Carolina Attorney General's office was brought in to prosecute this case, and Judge Robert John came from the 15th Circuit Court because of the close ties the entire Murdaugh family has with prosecutors and judges in our area. Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3.
I never knew what it would be like to go through something like this.
911, where's your emergency? Hello? Police, fire, EMS. Hello?
February 24th, 2019, the night that put the Murdaughs back in the spotlight and changed the Beach family's life forever.
Please send someone.
No, I'm coming. We're calling, okay?
Investigators say Paul Murdaugh was driving a boat under the influence with 5 other teenagers, including Beach, when he crashed into a bridge near Paris Island.
5 of us are on the bank, but we're missing one person.
It's going way too fast. I don't even know. I finally got to the point I grabbed my girlfriend and put her in my lap in the bottom of the boat and was holding on with my eyes closed. The next thing I know, I'm in the water and I can't find her.
Beach was gone.
Bro, you smiling like you're funny. Sit down, sit down. My girlfriend gone, bro. Sit down. You think it's funny?
Police say Paul was, quote, grossly intoxicated, yet he wasn't issued a field sobriety test, nor did he ever spend a night in jail.
You all know Alec Murdaugh?
Oh, yeah, I know his name.
That's his son.
That show driving the boat?
Good luck.
Authorities, search teams, friends, and family searched for an entire week. Until
911, where's your emergency?
We think we found her.
Beach's body was found on March 3rd, 2019, in a marsh near the Broad River boat landing. Later that month, her family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Alec and Buster Murdaugh, plus Parker's convenience store, who sold Paul the alcohol the night of the crash. April 18th, 2019, would have been Beach's 20th birthday.
It is hard. Yes, it's hard. There's moments that we have that things remind us of Mallory, and we break down at times.
It was also the day that Paul was indicted for boating under the influence causing death and 2 counts of boating under the influence causing great bodily injury. Paul pleaded not guilty to all charges. The court-ordered mediation in the wrongful death lawsuit failed on June 4th, 2021, meaning the case would then head to trial. 3 days later, Paul and his mother Maggie are found shot to death at their family's hunting lodge.
So yeah, it was 7 days. I said 5, it was 7, because the boat was February 24th, and she was found on March 3rd. So it took exactly a week. They found her. Talking about Mallory. I forget, how far did they say? 5 miles, or did they say on this one how far they found her? Why do I feel like they said? Wait, where did they say they found her body? I can't remember.
Paul Murdaugh sat silently for most of his arraignment hearing as a packed house of friends and witnesses waited to hear more about what crashed and Mallory Beach died. He and all the other underage passengers that night aboard were deemed grossly intoxicated.
I accidentally put that in twice. Sorry, guys. We just watched that. Okay, here's a new one. We're the brothers. So these are Alec's brothers. So it'd be Paul's uncles.
Shot to death outside their South Carolina home last week.
I got a call from Alec Monday night. And as soon as I answered the phone, I knew something was wrong. Oh, man. He just told me. He said, come as fast as you can. Paul and Maggie have been hurt. His voice.
Oh, this is about the murders.
He was just distraught. No arrests have been made, no suspects named. The Murdaughs issuing a plea for help this morning.
Well, the person that did this is out there, and there's information, however big or however small it is.
Did they have any enemies?
I really don't know of any enemies. You hear all this talk on the, social media with regard to Paul, but I don't know of anybody that would truly be an enemy or truly want to harm them.
Paul Murdaugh had been awaiting trial accused of being under the influence in 2019 while crashing a boat, killing 19-year-old passenger Mallory Beach. He had pleaded not guilty in the case.
Did you guys feel a shift after that accident happened?
People that knew Paul didn't, but people that saw what he was portrayed probably did.
The Murdaughs telling us Paul had been receiving threats from strangers, people they say they didn't know.
Were they, violent threats?
I didn't think it was a credible threat. If it was, I would have tried to do something or notified someone. But I guess, maybe I made a mistake.
The Murdaughs are one of the most prominent families in South Carolina, part of the legal establishment going back almost a century. 3 generations of Murdaughs held a solicitor's job in this region for years. They also own a prominent law firm where Randy and Alec currently work today. Some in the community questioning if the family used their connections to protect Paul the night of the boat crash.
Do you think anyone in your family interfered in any way?
I don't.
Do you feel like some of the perception of your family has been wrong?
Yes. I see words like dynasty used and power. And I don't know exactly how people use those words, but we're just regular people, and we're hurting just like they would be hurting if this had happened to them.
This morning, this tight-knit family holding on to each other.
How's your brother doing?
He's upright and looks strong and making his way, and then he just breaks down. It's tough for us.
It changes you as a family. And I can't imagine the horror that my brother's experiencing.
Now, our team saw state law enforcement searching the swamp near the crime scene yesterday, and they have set up a dedicated hotline now just for this case through Crime Stoppers. Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, a new lawsuit in connection with the Murdaugh family, a passenger from a deadly boat crash in the Low Country, suing Alec Murdaugh, his son, and others. Our Shannon Royster joining us now from the studio with the very latest. Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Frank. Well, that passenger, Connor Cook, has filed a personal injury lawsuit in Hampton County in connection to the boat crash back in 2019. 18-year-old Mallory Beach was killed in that crash. Paul Murdaugh was indicted on multiple charges, including boating under the influence. This new civil lawsuit claims Paul's brother Buster gave his driver's license to Paul so he could buy alcohol. It also says a clerk from a Parker's gas station helped Paul get the alcohol. Now, it goes on to say Alec Murdaugh knew his son Paul was an addict or a habitual drinker and should not have entrusted the boat to him. That lawsuit says Alec also misdirected law enforcement and put together a scheme to make sure Cook stayed quiet. Now, there are a lot of layers tied to the Murdaugh family mystery, so we've compiled a timeline for you dating all the way back to 2015. You can check it out now on our website. That's WJCL.com.
Well, one of the victims of that double homicide was involved in a deadly boat crash just a few years ago. Our Riley Miller joins us now to revisit that case. Riley.
Shannon, the name Paul Murdaugh may sound familiar. Paul was facing 3 felony charges following a 2019 boat crash that left 19-year-old Mallory Beach dead.
But it is hard. Yes, it's hard. There's moments that we have that things remind us of Mallory, and we break down at times. Like that's normal. That's part of the grieving process. I never knew what it would be like to go through something like this.
Those were words from Philip Beach, whose daughter Mallory was killed in a boat crash back in February of 2019.
All 5 of us are on the bank, but we're missing one person.
Mallory was thrown into the water after the boat she was on slammed into a piling near the Archers Creek Bridge. Her body was found a week later. Port Royal police on scene that night described the boaters as grossly intoxicated.
What bridge is it? Paul, what bridge is this?
Paul Murdaugh was indicted April 18, 2019 on what would have been Mallory's 20th birthday. The charges included boating under the influence causing death and 2 counts of boating under the influence causing great bodily injury. Murdaugh pled not guilty on all charges. We reached out to the Beach family attorney but did not hear back. The Beach family still has a wrongful death lawsuit pending against the Murdaugh family. Shannon, back to you.
The crash was arraigned in court this morning. WJCL's Alex Littlehills joins us now from the Beaufort County Courthouse. Alex, what happened today?
Well, Dale Shannon, today is the first day that we've seen Murdaugh in a courtroom setting, as right now he is facing several serious charges. Now, Murdaugh actually did not speak at his arraignment today. That was done primarily by his lawyer, but his lawyer did say that Murdaugh is pleading not guilty to the 3 charges he's facing. One of them is the operation of a water vehicle under the influence of either alcohol or drugs, resulting in death. The judge did grant Murdaugh a bond totaling $50,000, but there are some conditions to this bond arrangement. He was ordered to hand over his passport to the state attorney general's office. He had to sign a waiver of extradition as a way to ensure the state of South Carolina that he will not be fleeing the state or country before he's called by the courts again. His attorney did issue a short statement today following the court proceedings. Take a listen.
We just wanted to accommodate any concerns the AG's office had. He's not leaving the state. He's not going to leave the country. So, and he'd waive extradition. Those are normal conditions. So, no, we did exactly what's normal. This is being handled in a very normal fashion.
The judge also noted that Murdaugh will not be allowed to leave the confines of the 14th Circuit Judicial District without prior consent by the courts. That includes Beaufort, Jasper, Hampton counties, as well as Allendale and Colleton counties. Now, Murdaugh just finished the latest spring semester at the University of South Carolina in Columbia. I asked the attorney how he was dealing with both the legal proceedings as well as the end of the school year. He said he did not wish to comment. Tonight, from the Low Country, Alex Littlehale.
Okay, so that's that. What was I gonna say? Man, I had something to say that I was holding on to until the end of it. I keep forgetting. I already said it was 7 days. Yeah. Okay. So I took some notes what I wanted to do. Oh, to look at the inside of Luther's. Oh, I wanted to see down that. So what do you guys think? Here is that timeline here. Let me go. I'll go to where they hit. Oh wait, why is that not? Yeah, because look at how, hold on, let me go to this. Look how hard it would be, because I want to show you how thin the river is. So he goes. All right, hold on. And they go past that bridge, that same bridge that they hit. Am I on mute? No, okay. That same bridge that they hit on the way to, wait, it's on the way to the party, I think, that they go past it. Hold on, let me go back to, yeah, because they go on the way to the party. This is where they meet, and then they go, hold on. They come over here, go out here, go, wait, hold on, I gotta remember. Hold on, I had it. Archer's Creek's here. So yeah, they go. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right here. So they come out here. Wait, where's the party again? Okay. Yeah, so they go down here. They probably come out here, I'm guessing. And then they go here, right? This is on the way to the party. So look, and this is also on the way home how they come too, because this is where they hit. But this is just going to the party. So it's guessed that they probably go down here to go to the party, come up here. Wait, hold on. Yeah, go like, look, go in this little, so go, I mean, it's obviously way bigger in person, you know. Then come up here. Well, I gotta get my, so where's the party? Up there. So then they probably, wait, come over here. Up here. All on that little boat. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's way up here. All the way up here, all the way around here, up here, all the way up here, all the way up here to go to that party. And then on the way home, they come down, down. Come down here. Wait. Oh, yeah, they come down here. And that's where they stop. So that makes sense, right? My grandma's squeaking a toy. So they just come down here. And then almost hit this. And then they stop here for drinks. And then come back down. Wait, hold on a second. Now I'm getting confused. Oh yeah, that's where they enter right here. Yeah, so they come back down. And then they enter. No. Hold on a second. Yeah, I had it right. I'm sorry. It gets confusing with all these rivers. So yeah, they come down here and they enter right here and then go. But look, now they're drunk. So on the way there, I'm sure they're not drunk, but on the way back, they got to come from all the way up here, already drunk, on all the way to here, stop and drink more, and then come down here, and then come in this is Archer's Creek. And then, I mean, look at that. And then that's where they hit. I mean, that takes some good boating. So number one, it's dark. Number two, they're intoxicated. I mean, dang. And then somebody said the lights on the boat. I didn't know that there was the lights. They had to have some working lights. Or maybe that's why they had the flashlight. Maybe they were just shining the flashlight for light, which isn't safe. But maybe they were using that flashlight for light. But dang. And then, yeah, that's where they impacted and hit and then hit. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the trial a little bit before I end it. Oh, and those of you that are interested in the Elliot Rodgers, so I found the diary, so I am going to be reading that. Probably won't start that till next week because I'm going to New York tomorrow to visit Juliet. So I probably won't. I don't know if I'll do a pre-recorded. I think I'll just do it live and read the Elliot Rodgers diary. And then for the Elliot Rodgers manifesto, it's like 140 some pages. So I think me and Juliet are just gonna read it where we'll take turns because it's so much reading, and maybe do it in 4 different parts. So yeah, but I'm gonna read the diary first probably when I come back. So all right, let me see. I'll chat with you guys. So what did you guys make out of the trial? I'll probably listen to the rest tomorrow on my drive to New York. Oh wait, but then the trial, hold on, I forgot, because then there's going to be new trial tomorrow I'm going to have to listen to. So maybe tonight I'll try to find some time to listen to the rest. I listened to most of it. I listened to all the way up to the last break, I think it was. So I listened to all of Buster's and I listened up till, you know what, though? I haven't even got to the engineer's cross exam. I only listened to, when I stopped listening, the defense was still, oh, wait, was it? Yeah, the defense was still asking questions because they were going to go on, I think, to talk more about Paul's. So what do you guys make? So they're trying to act like, I know I already brought this up a little bit before when we were watching the Paul stuff, but they're trying to say that the person who shot Maggie was anywhere from 5'2" to 5'4". And I want to know, oh, you guys told me that the defense didn't even ask him about well, hey, what if he's on an ATV? So does the ATV, okay, let's say you're sitting on the ATV. What would be the height? I mean, it would take a lot of your height. I mean, it sits pretty low, right? So if I were sitting on it, would it make me shorter than I really am? Because of, the wheels and where you step up. Yeah, it should. Well, and then the seat. So does it really even make you that much shorter? Maybe a little bit, but how much shorter does it make you? Can you guys help me realize that? Because does it really actually make you a lot shorter? But it doesn't answer what if somebody was on the ground or kneeling? Because that angle that Paul got shot, it does look like somebody's kneeling or something when they're shooting because the angle. So maybe freaking Alec he was just getting down on the ground. So they didn't see it coming or something. Who freaking knows? A foot or so, so it'll make you a foot or so shorter. Well, then that would, okay, so if Alec is what, 6 foot or what? How tall is Alex? Alec, sorry. How tall is he? I think he was, did they say 6'3" or he's over 6 foot, right? So if it takes a foot off of you, then that would be about right. 5'3", 5'1", you know? Yeah, kneeling. It could be kneeling. So I don't understand why he didn't coming out of channel. Wait, what do you mean coming out of channel? F and BS? What do you mean coming out of channel? Coming out of channel. Huh, I don't even know what you're trying to say, Mark. 6'6". Oh, he's 6'6". Oh, no. You're saying if they determine this. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's okay. I don't care. I mean, it's okay if he doesn't get if mods. I don't really. It's not that stuff doesn't really bother me as far as like having to make sure you get rid. No, I don't even care. I'm also interested to see what they have to say, to be honest. Okay, so I don't know. Yeah, it's not even making sense. So don't even worry. He's not even making sense. Nobody. I know it doesn't make sense. That like I would not like waste my time with somebody I hated. Like why time is so freaking precious. Like why are you going to give somebody you don't like time? Just go somewhere else. Like I want to spend my time like wisely. I want to spend it with somebody I like, information that I like. Like if you don't like me then just don't like makes no sense. I know people hate watch. I don't get that hate watching crap. I don't get it. Time is too precious, guys. Okay, so now it did kind of sidetrack me. What was I talking about? Oh, the height. Yeah, I don't know. So the defense or the state didn't do a very good job cross-examining him. Oh. So then what did you guys make out of Buster, like them trying to like make a big deal about Alec parking and on the side? Do you think that was because of that weird park and drive that he did after? Because that was after he. Now remind me. I have to go back and go. There's so much stuff, dude. Like with the Stephen Smith, with the boat crash, with the housekeeper, and like I've been watching so many videos of all of it and the trial. So forgive me if I can't remember this detail, okay? I could just go back through my notes, but I know one of you guys will remember it for me, so I don't have to go back through my notes. But that stop, when he's at his mom's, and then it's thought that, I should get that timeline out. It's thought that he goes to the shed and hides something. That's after he already visits his mom, and then he comes out to the car, right? So he goes in 20 minutes, and then that's after he goes, and then he puts it in park, or he puts it in drive, pulls up to the driveway. Maybe that's what they were trying to go over with the parking on the side. I think that's what they were trying to show. Like, oh, it's normal to park on the side. But it's not normal for him to have got in the car and then put it in drive up a little bit, put it in park like he's going to do something else. You know what I'm saying? Is that what they're trying to show? Like, oh, it's normal for his car to be there? but it doesn't go along with him going inside right there, right? No, I'm talking about the day. The day he goes, there is the day that night. Let me bring up this timeline. That night, do you guys know what I'm talking about, right? That night that he goes to visit his mom, and then it looks like he puts it in park and drive, and he goes a little bit up the, where people think maybe he ran something into the shed, because it would go along with him, like after he visits his mom, he goes, puts it in drive, moves up a little bit, puts it in park, and then run to the shed and then come back and then leave. So, yeah, I think that's where he hid the evidence, where he hid his clothes, hid the guns for temporarily. But is that what they were trying to show with Buster? When they were trying to be like, oh, like prove that, oh, it's normal to park there? Because answer me that. Just say yes or no if that's what they were trying to do. Or maybe it's something else that I missed. Is that what the defense, do you think, was trying to do right there? Or no? Just to show that, oh, it's normal for people to pull up there real quick, and then, because maybe I missed something that's not even what they were showing or what they were talking about. Maybe there's something else. So just put yes if it is real quick before I go on. Agree names are running together. I can't. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I want a couple yeses though. Dominic says yeah. Did other people get that too? But anyway, so if that is, well, did they read? That still doesn't. That still doesn't go along. That would only go along with if that happened right there before he went inside to visit his mom, and then right after that he took off. That's not how that happened. It was like a separate little thing where he goes, he visits his mom already, and then it goes into drive, he moves, and then park, and then, like a minute or under a minute. So he's quick. I have to get the timing out, but it was really a quick little thing. And then into park or into drive again, and he takes off. That does not explain that. That does not explain that. I'm sorry. I hope the mods. I hope the jury, I'm sure the jury are understanding that doesn't explain that. Sorry. Hi, Gregory. What's up? Hey, Darksea. Betty, I don't know. You said you heard he was naked. I mean, I'm not sure. I didn't hear that. Yeah. Oh, they searched the dog bedding and the kennels. Perfect for hiding the gun and clothes. The dog, I don't know. Oh, you're the one that's. I don't know. Where did you hear that, Betty? Is it just like a theory of yours? Oh. Well, dude, if that's the theory that maybe he washed. I guess how are they going to even? Because there'll be their blood there anyway. Yeah, I don't know, Jen. Huh? Maybe they're trying to be a hero. Holy Southern style, you're funny. It was in all the clips. Wait, what do you mean it was in all the clips? What clips, Betty? Like what kind of clips? Oh, you went down a rabbit hole. Like there's clips of him naked, or I mean, what do you mean in the clips, though? Or are you talking to somebody else with that? Queen Elizabeth, no, to get that get that out of my head. Yeah, probably. But he still could have had clothes and then, don't you think? You know what, my grandma's gonna come up here again. She came up here because she's freaking out because my mom is not home, but my mom went out to eat, and I bet you she is gonna end up coming in. I probably should go and call my mom, or maybe I'll wait to see until she comes up here. Yeah, I don't know. I think he probably did have clothes on and he still could have hosed off, right? But I mean, who knows, Betty? You never know. Hey, Mez, did I say hi to you, Mez? Yeah, there is like a thought. I mean, there is rumors going around that they weren't doing good, but like Buster said today, she does usually stay at Edisto like a lot in the summer, and they try to like show that, oh, both the dogs were there, and if she was planning on staying there, she usually has the dogs just to show that she wasn't planning on staying at Edisto, so she was planning on staying at Moselle, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that Alex. I think that's what they were trying to show, that it wasn't just that Alex had got her. What's the word for basically? I can't think of the word for it, but like got her to come to Moselle so he could do that. Hey, Monkey Nut Chewer. Yeah, I probably should, because I also wanna, I have to finish packing up some last minute things because I'll be leaving in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, I think I am gonna go, guys. But let me know if you guys, does anybody have doubt after like seeing that stuff? Is put a 1 if you have doubt on if Paul was driving. I mean, I think he probably was, but I'm not like, I do have doubt. I'm just curious if any, like, how many people have doubt just from that, like, where you can't say 100% he was driving. Thanks, Tom. No, but does anything matter? A lot of the cases we talk about, sometimes we talk about cases that are already done, or it's just like we like to discuss and get people's opinion. You know, there's a lot of things that we discuss after the judgment's already been made. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it matters just for a discussion, and just, you know, I like to hear other people's opinions. So for that, yeah, for that I do like to hear people's opinions. Okay, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, for my driving, I get nervous because I think I do have narcolepsy, so sometimes I have trouble staying awake driving. Like on the highway, it's like I have to like slap my face and shake my head to stay awake. And if I'm talking on the phone, but I don't really have many people to talk to. So Soul, are you in here? So Soul's gonna try to talk to me Saturday on my way home in the morning, but it's like over 6 hours. But I hate that I'm like that. Because I used to love road trips. I do love road trips, but it scares me because it's like, it doesn't matter how well rested I am, I can't control it. Like, it's weird. I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys could relate. It's like, I know a lot of you that can't relate, that has never happened to, like personal, where you don't understand. You're just probably like, well, sleep. Make sure you're well rested and just stay awake. Don't fall asleep or pull over and sleep. But it doesn't matter. Like, I could be so well rested, and I could tell myself, stay awake, stay awake. It doesn't matter. It's like I can't control it. It sucks. So, I don't know, I'm just nervous about that. But if I'm like talking on the phone, I'm all right. If I'm like talking to somebody, but I mean, who am I? How do I find somebody that's gonna want to talk to me for like 7 hours? So, um, but yeah. So what I'll do is I'll like slap my face or shake my head real fast. Sometimes that helps the music, but that I mean, it's still. Oh, any recommendations, guys? I hate it because I love road trips. I love driving, and it just sucks to have to worry about that. So, but I'll be all right. I got a couple 5 hours I could try, but sometimes it's like, oh, my mom's home. I just heard the alarm. Sometimes it's like, oh, I told you the story how, because it's like waves. Like sometimes I'll be good, and like sometimes it's like waves that get worse. But it seems like always, for the most part, driving is a difficult thing on the highway. Not like just driving around the city. Like I'm fine every day when I go to my appointments, but it's like long drives on the highway. But I know I've told you some of you guys have already heard this, but like sometimes when it's really bad, and this was like a couple years ago, and my nephews were like coming over a lot, and this is my dad was still alive too when it was happening, but now I don't sit down there with my coffee as much, but like how many times, I swear I can't even count how many times within like the 1 year it was like a ton where my nephews would be like, don't, because I'd be like holding the coffee, don't fall asleep, a hot coffee. And they'd be like laughing, like, they're like, don't fall asleep, Tiff. I'm like, I'm not, I'll be all right. Like, I got a hot coffee, don't fall asleep. And then they see me like starting to be like, Tiff, you're gonna fall asleep. No, I'm not gonna fall asleep. And I'm like, even like repeating in my head, don't fall asleep. And I just fall asleep, spill the coffee, wake up to hot coffee. Like multiple times that was happening. It happens. And I can't even control it, even though I'm telling myself I have hot coffee, don't fall asleep. It's like I can't. I have no so I mean I do think I do have narcolepsy. I still have to get that sleep test because my doctor thought I did, but I never got it. This is right before COVID. COVID hit, and so I canceled it. So I have to do that. But anyway, yeah, so I've spilled so many hot coffees down on me. So many in front of my nephews, they just laughing. Like, or I'll fall asleep at dinner and my mom would be like laughing. I'll like wake up, and this is when my dad was alive. I remember it more, or my mom would like be like I wake up to them whispering and laughing at the dinner table. Like, oh my God. But anyway, I do, Missy B. I do, but it only helps so much, you know. I'll probably be good on the way there because I'll be all excited, and I don't know. Hopefully, the way back is what I'm a little bit more worried about. But anyway. I know. I do love road trips. That's what I'm saying. It's just I hate that I get like that now. Wait, is there any other like yeah, radio up, that only works so good. Windows down only works so much. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, but it doesn't 100% work. Who are you talking to, Mez? Who's your 1, 2, and 3? What does that mean? Red Bull. Yeah, I have these 5 hours, so maybe that'll help. But seriously, sometimes like, dude, sometimes it gets to a point like I've had times where it's like I could drink an energy drink and fall asleep right away. It's weird. And then sometimes I'll drink one and it's like wired, I'm shaky. Or sometimes I could just drink like 5 hour like energy and just doesn't do anything. So I feel like on a road trip, it's I don't know, we'll be all right. I'll be all right. So yeah, I'll be back Saturday. But then I gotta celebrate my mom's birthday. So yeah, you could smack me the whole way. I need somebody to. You do that too, Lolo? I know, Mama Mia, but that's the thing. Like the meds that they give is like, isn't it more like stimulant, Adderall, Ritalin? Which hey, I love that stuff, but I can't. I'm an addict, and that's like heroin, meth addict. Meth is methamphetamines, the same stuff as Adderall and Ritalin. Well, yeah, Adderall. And similar to the Ritalin and the stuff that they put. So like, I don't think I'd be able to. I don't think I could do that. So that's what I'm saying. So what would I even be able to take? You know? So I don't know. That's another reason I'm putting it off. So like I'm not like anxious to get the sleep study because what are they gonna do for me? You know? So I was hoping maybe one of you guys had oh thanks, Betty. Anybody have any other recommendations? No. Oh wait, Jove, and then I met medical man. Yeah, but I can't because I'm on a program thingy. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to. That's the only thing. Sativa. Yeah, I wish. No, it's normally not anything, but when I this issue, it sucks. It is. All right, guys, I am going to go. Wonder who's going to be tomorrow. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I can listen to the trial. Maybe that'll keep me good. I don't know where that might make it worse. We'll see. I'll listen to that tomorrow. Queen Elizabeth, I thought about that. To be honest, I thought about that. I'm like, but then I'm like, what can I talk about for 6? I mean, I guess I don't have to do it the whole 6 hours. But like, what would I talk about because it's not like I could hear you guys. So it's just me talking for like I'm not, I won't be able to share anything or play anything. So it would just be like me talking as I'm driving for hours. So what would I talk? What would I do? Unless you know what I could do? I could do open panel and I could have you guys come up. Then that could help. Wait a minute. Huh. We just have one like a fun. It doesn't have to be about anything. We just talk about true crime, anything. Huh. Yeah. Write an audio book? Huh, maybe. It'll probably be more. I'll probably need you more for the ride home, but maybe the ride there. So the ride home would probably be Saturday morning, and the ride there is tomorrow morning. Well, keep your eyes open. If you guys see me pop up on a live tomorrow morning or Saturday morning, come. And then some of you come and like be prepared to maybe come up on panel. So at least like I have somebody to talk back to. You know what I'm saying? Huh, that's actually a good idea. Oh, wait, you guys are gonna be watching the trial, though. That's the only thing. I can't figure out how to, share like, on StreamYard, it won't let me share my screen. So you know how I share my screen and I'm able to share the trial and we can watch it together? For some reason on my phone, I can't I don't know, maybe I'll mess around, but it doesn't look like it's gonna allow me to share the screen. So I won't be able to do it, and then I'm not gonna be able to watch it, and it might help, but that would be just the same as me just listening to it on my drive because if I watch it with you, then I'm not gonna be able to talk because we're gonna be watching it. So I'll just be listening to it. I can't text because I'm gonna be driving. So that would basically be just me listening to it on the drive anyway. And I don't know if that's gonna be enough because music isn't enough. I might need to be talking and talk to people. That's the only thing. But you guys are probably gonna be, oh my God, Levine, I know I gotta send out your thing. I didn't yet. Oh my God, I suck. It has been a pretty crazy few months, I would say. But how many of you guys are going to be watching the trial, though? Saturday for sure, though, because the trial won't be Saturday. So Saturday, that's actually perfect. But tomorrow, the trial will be on. So we'll see. Tomorrow, maybe I might be all right because the excitement might be able to make it at least do not as bad. Oh, man. All right. I'm gonna go though because I gotta finish getting everything, like pack up the last minute thing, and I want to talk to my mom a little bit. But wait, no, I didn't even see what anybody press 1 for the Paul thing. Well, just write it in comments if there's anybody that is having doubts that maybe Paul was driving. I do think most likely he probably was. But my point is, for the cops to say that it's not clear, I don't think that was a corruption thing where Alec pressured him. I think it was because what they were telling him, they couldn't say for sure because of what they were saying. There was just, there was some confusion. So I don't think they were wrong for saying that, was my point, kind of. But I do think Paul should have been punished for, he is responsible somewhat. I'm not saying that, but anyway, all right, guys. People are mean. I'm gonna go. Oh, that's funny. I will. Oh. All right, guys. Bye, everybody. You know what I did do the one time on the way home that helped a little bit? That night, that time that I had, I think it was COVID or whatever I had when I was really sick. Oh, horrible. It was like one of the worst. Oh, that drive was so bad because I was suffering with sleepiness, plus I was sick. But I went and got like 10, I don't even know how many suckers, a bunch of Tootsie Pops. So that's what helped me, like sucking on the Tootsie Pops, because that kept me awake. But I can't do that for, almost 7 hours eating lollipops. I'll be eating so much candy. Oh, backyard garden. What's up, Austin? All right, I better go. You know what? Wonder if that was actually my grandma opening the door and it wasn't my mom, because now I just think I heard the garage door. Yeah, I think my mom is just now getting home. But anyway, next week, I am going to read that diary next week, you guys. So that'll be. I sucked my way, Sandy. Yeah. That's funny. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Bye.